Reduction stills from Season 1, Episode 7 of the beloved Lower Ethereal Hierarchy children's serial Legends of the Golden Child, entitled From the Deep Desert, From the Deeper Earth. Episode 7 opens with the Hax brothers of the 12 Angles Ranch making a chance discovery of a huge underground ectoplasm deposit under their land. Overjoyed, the brothers, played by real-life triplets Igor, Grigory, and Steve Beluthis, cut a deal with the wealthy Nyarlruger twins of nearby Wizard's Bend, and soon a full-scale ectoplasm mining operation is underway. The good fortune of the Hax brothers is soon overshadowed by news that a large tribe of Oneiri from the deep dreamlands of the western Endless Plain have, through occult divination, caught wind of the ectoplasm discovery and are making their way headlong across the desert towards the 12 Angles Ranch. The episode ends with the elder brother Johnny Hax, waking from some unknown nightmare to the cacophonous sounds of engines, hoofbeats, and esoteric instruments. He sits bolt upright in bed, nose gushing ectoplasm, and screams the golden child has come. Episode 7 faced heavy criticism at the time of its initial broadcast, mainly for the use, and alleged underpayment, of a tribe of real-life Oneiri and the reinforcement of the stereotype regarding that particular group of dreamers and their complicated relationship with ectoplasm. Counter-arguments brought up the well-documented use of ectoplasm in the ritual magical practices of the Dreamers of the 100-Year Coast, and suggested that there wasn't really any issue with bringing up the use of the stuff by interlopers from beyond the hierarchy anyway, with many considering the whole furor political correctness gone mad. Episode 8. After a recap, which is inexplicably several times longer than the entire runtime of the previous installment, the episode opens with the Hax brothers of the 12 Angles Ranch up in arms about the tribe of Oneiri who have rode out of the deep dreamlands of the Endless Plain, attracted by the esoteric vibrations of the new ectoplasm mine on the brothers' land. The desert dwellers are now making regular, confusing incursions into the ranch, and even into the town of Wizard's Bend itself. Perturbed by this new series of events, the Hax brothers form a gang of rough riders they call the Noonday Bastards to fend off the intrusions by the Oneiri. Meanwhile, paranoia and prejudice consume the town of Wizard's Bend, and several new characters are introduced amidst the furor. A charismatic faith healer Charles Sugarwater, played by City of the ever-open-eye amateur thespian Henry Lincortian, arrives in town, proclaiming a new golden age. Many townsfolk come to believe that Sugarwater is indeed the golden child, whose coming was foretold earlier in the season. Can he do something about the Oneiri? Chief amongst these new adherents is Hortense Filbarst, played by Judith Lunk, daughter of the local high-fish priest. Hortense falls madly in love with Sugarwater, and begins to proclaim his godhood on the streets of Wizard's Bend, much to the shame of her father, fish priest Filbarst. Episode 10 Shadows of Light opens with the return of Tom O'Jaff to Wizard's Bend, who we learn left the town many years ago under a cloud of suspicion regarding the disappearances of several children. Perhaps due to the new climate of fear in Wizard's Bend due to the plague clowns, the Circus of the Void, and the apocalyptic prophecy of the Golden Child, O'Jaff judges this a good a time as any to return to town. As it happens, O'Jaff's absence was due to taking on the position of apprentice warlock to Wise Fred, now deceased in the timeline of the show, and attempting to discover through intense occult studies the real reason behind the earlier disappearances. O'Jaff convinces a number of townsfolk, most notably Wilfred and Laura Silverflesh, played by real-life couple James and Carla Jarsh, that their children were in fact spirited away to the lost kingdom of Eidolon, and that they live there still. The twist, it seems, is that the kingdom, the abode of spirits and demons, and long thought a myth, is in fact accessible through the town's labyrinth. An expedition is launched into the subterranean maze, and the episode ends with our heroes emerging into an unfamiliar desert, near a fabulous city populated with otherworldly creatures. O'Jaff leads the contingent of townsfolk into the city where they are greeted by the Eidolonians, and are brought before Emperor Balshash, who utters the line, "Doth thou bring news of the golden child?" In a now familiar motif, the townsfolk begin weeping blood and laughing hysterically as the credits roll. Foaming Maw magazine called the episode a wonderful technical achievement for the alchemical augmentation, developed specifically for the show, that made it possible to capture the Netherrealm actors on holofilm. For many City of the Ever-Open Eye citizens, other than those lucky enough to have experienced spiritual possession, this was the first time they'd seen a demonic entity.